All right, Sunday. It's England versus Pakistan. We're going to do a very quick review. As everybody is talking, Vikram, this is a repeat of 1992 final, not just England and Pakistan. It's also at the same goddamn venue at Melbourne at MCG, almost coming in the similar fashion also.
Fashion, yeah.
Pakistan has just beaten, guess who? New Zealand. New Zealand topped the group, then also they beat them. In fact, they beat them twice before. They could not beat them twice because they were not in the same group, right? So, but they beat them, and now they're in the final. The way Pakistan hammered New Zealand, it was such a one-sided game, which are like this is what you call one-sided. And then England showed them no. We'll tell you what really one-sided game is. And then I think right now it's been more than a day, and Indians are like, we just have like not like it has not sunk in yet. What just happened? What the hell just happened to us? Now coming back to this thing, there are multiple factors that's going to come into play. If we just go by what England did to India, right? We should be like, wow, this is England is going to like outclass Pakistan. It's going to be completely easy. That's not how it works. That's not how sport works, and definitely that's not how the lowest form of cricket works, which is T20. If it was Test match, right, we could have said, of course, they're going to win. But no, there's a crowd factor because Aussies and MCG, more than 100,000 people, they're not going to support the Palms. They're going to support the Pakis. Okay. So the support is one thing. Second is toss. I'm a little bit torn about it. Maybe I'm just feeling a little bit stupid, but I feel like if I win the toss, I might as well go and bat. And because England, although they chose bowling first and because they're going to chase everything down, but I would say they will, because they have the courage, just take the batting and go after it. If it rains, and it's going to rain, if anything is curtailed, as you say, the DLS actually becomes more, the target becomes stiffer, and they need to have at least a 10 over match, and over each. Batting, I would say, will be the best bet right now. But again, I won't be surprised if somebody chooses otherwise also, depending on the situation, what they're feeling, and how much overs will be curtailed. And because match might slip into the second day, I think it'll definitely slip into the second day, right? But they're gonna try to finish on the first day. But apparently, they only have half an hour extra on the first day. Second day, they have 4 hour extra, which does not. I can't understand all these. As you said before the podcast, we were talking. There was too many weird laws and systems. Why didn't they fucking move the match to the fucking Marvel Stadium, which is in Melbourne only, which has a bloody roof on it, so no rain can fall through? But okay, nobody understand. Then there's factor about. I think Pakistan really, really. I was listening to the other podcast, the Pakistani podcast, the Pavilion. As Wasim Akram was saying, they really need to forget about what England did to India. If they are thinking about that, they are toast, because that performance was just immaculate. Even if India exploded, still England was just fucking flawless. But the deal is that once you're flawless, there's a reason why you're flawless. You will not repeat it. That's why when Kohli made that wonderful innings in the first inning, you already said, he's not going to repeat it. Guess what? He did not. That's why it was a special inning. It was a special match. Just forget about it. Forget, as the Italian Americans, forget about it. Now, I have said the same thing, which our podcast never got released, so I can use the same word. They're Pakistani are simple-minded Punjabi-speaking boys with amazing salad, which is just hair, and then the bowling brigade, which Lala Roff, Shaheen Shah Afridi, everybody's amazing. The spinners and all, like everybody's amazing there, right? Now their weaknesses, I still feel, is the Babar and Rizwan. All they performed very well. This time, please don't be conservative. I don't think they'll be conservative because after what happened to India, right? If there's one thing, they won't be. But I expect at least one of them to fail because that's just basic percentages, right? And whosoever does not fail, I hope they make a 30 ball 50 or something like that. Big match jitters when it comes to England or Pakistan, I'm going to lean more on Pakistan, not on England. I don't think England will have the jitters. Pakistan will have more jitters. There's this one Aussie Pakistani person there who is going to be a big, big figure. His name is Mohammed Hayden. Erstwhile, Matthew Hayden. Now he's Mohammed Hayden, or just calling Mo Hay. Mo Hayden. Mo Hayden is been hypnotizing everybody how amazing the great Pakistan is. Nobody wants to face us. And he's not saying Pakistan, he's saying us. Dude, you're on a 3 week contract. Jesus Christ, not Pakistan. You're on a 3 week contract.
Oh my
Jesus
god.
Christ. Right. And they're not even IPL. Like they have some Pakistan. Okay. Jesus fucking Christ, man. And he's been telling them Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Apparently, he went on a 5 minute rant after this semi-final victory. And then, in fact, somebody asked one of the players who doesn't speak English. Actually, nobody does, but he never. So they asked him, like, "Did you understand what he was saying?" He's like, and the guy was just smiling. He's like, "Yeah." He's like, and imagine the Aussie guy, like, for the 5, I was telling you, motherfuckers, you know what happened? It was like, oh, it's just, I guess, like, it's like Hitler yelling at you in German, but you're like, the impact is amazing. Oh, I like it. I like it. So I think he's going to rile them up. And the fact is, he unlike Rahul Dravid, he calls the shots. When they lost the first wicket, right, that time, who's the other guy? Mohammed Harris or some Harris, right? Is he also Mohammed Harris? But Harris, right? So
Harris,
he
yeah.
was scheduled to come in, but because they had already played so many overs, right? And so he wasn't sure whether he'll come in. So when they're showing Matthew Hayden sitting there, Harris is looking at him. And then Hayden says, yeah, go. And then he goes out because he's like, he has to tell them that you're doing it. So I like that fact. He has the control, unlike Rahul in our team, right? The other thing is like, I don't think they'll freeze, but they can explode. If I have to take one team to explode in a bad way, which will be Pakistan, but I think they're going to be all right. After what happened with India, I think as long as they can hold their nerves, you cannot teach. Rosha was right about one thing. You cannot teach people. And either himself also. Now, talking about briefly about England, then I'll just quickly finish it and just give it to you. England have the courage, England have the balls, and they can fucking beat anybody on any day. But not every day is a Sunday, right? So not every day will be a what is a Thursday? Like whichever day was, I think it was Thursday. Not every day will be a Thursday, right? So growing up, one of my favorite sports movies was actually Any Given Sunday, and then I never heard anybody talk about it. So I was to be very disappointed that nobody talked. Now I listen to all these people who are in their 40s and 50s. They do give this Any Given Sunday reference. Even a French Pandit gave a reference of Any Given Sunday. He said, like, I really like that movie, Any Given Sunday. It has Al Pacino, and he gives like a lot of speeches on this in this movie. So I feel the middle order. You have picked on middle order. You might going to talk about that, so I'll leave it to you. I think middle order has been tested and they haven't performed. Livingston has been a colossal flop. Apart from his leg spinners, he's doing like Shane Warne, right? Uh, expect Butler or Hales to fail, at least one of them to fail. So that means the middle order will come into play. I don't know what is the situation with Milan, but I don't think Milan will be the defining factor. So whatever it is, I'm fine with it. And Pakistan's bowling brigade, can they nullify the Pakistan bowling brigade? Because I feel Pakistan bowling is the key, is the key. So that's why the toss is not straightforward whether you take batting or bowling, because Pakistan bowling can actually also work. So if you put them to bowl first, that might also work against you. It's more complicated game. It's not cut and dry as England just performed like amazingly, so they'll just beat Pakistan, or Pakistan will come out as destiny. That's how it will happen. Well, unfortunately, that's not how it works. One of the team has to lose, and I'm leaning towards England because you remember one of the Pakistani friend who watched our podcast who was very curious. He thought we were Nostradamus because the way we predicted amazingly. So from my end, bro, I definitely feel Pakistan has a definite much better chance than India did. But if I got to put my money on, my kids, my wives on, I'm going to put it on England, mate. And regardless of whatever they performed against India, I was always going to pick England. And right now, I'm picking England. So over to you, Mike. Over to you, ex-Twitter engineer, with all your severance money, buying all the Lamborghini. Chalai jane ko. Okay.
Yeah, so no, okay, I'm not mute here. So, okay. Yeah, I think I will also agree with you. I think we keep agreeing with each other because there's no, like, we are, there's no one to fight with. Our opinions are anyway very different from the normal, public. Because now everyone is like, this is destiny. This is why Pakistan, got
Don't
this
you wish right
opportunity.
now that we had all these fucking, India lovers, ICCCI, sorry, BCCI, not ICCI. We don't have ICCI sponsors, so we're not saying BCCI, all these chamchas, all these, sitting on the fencers. If we are popular, how the shit will be hitting their fan? They'll be like, oh, how can you say this against India? India is amazing, this care. And then everything, oh, yes, sorry. So,
No,
yeah,
I
go
mean,
on.
we have. I don't want to talk about it because we already ranted for like 25 minutes before this podcast. But yeah, so I don't. Yeah, there is no fairy tale in sports. There is no destiny. There is nothing in sports. It is a very cruel thing, sports. And if you follow any sport, if you are Manchester United supporter, RCB, Indian team, whatever team,
Don't
you would.
mention RCB. That's not a good team. United has
So
won a lot, and then we don't win. RCB has never won anything.
no, I'm just saying. See,
Virat
this
Kohli,
all.
Virat Kohli is like, what the fuck? Who the fuck said that?
No, I'm just
Stop
saying.
picking on me.
I'm just saying that every team or everyone, I mean, obviously RCB has not won an IPL tournament, but there
You're
is a
right.
lot
You're
of
right. Yeah.
legacy and everything. But you, as a sport, as a follower of any team, you will have a lot of days where your heart will break, where you will be, like, fuck this shit, I'll not never watch this again, because that is what sports. It's unpredictable. If it was so predictable, then everyone would have become a millionaires by betting.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
uh,
Brazil would be winning all the World Cups. That's not how it works,
so
right?
it's not. I mean, South Africa, right? They lost to. They were the strongest team coming into this tournament, and they lost to Netherlands. Like,
Why are you
Netherlands.
doing this? RCB, South Africa.
So yeah, I mean, the point is that nothing is there in destiny, and just by logic, because we can only fall back to logic. We don't have any crystal ball. We don't have anything, any Akashvani happening. So we can only talk about logically what can happen, and that's why we were saying about India and whatever earlier predictions we did. So yeah, I think logically speaking, this should be the interesting match. But I think at the end of the day, England is a stronger team because they have the bowling and they have the batting as well. Pakistan has the bowling, but they don't have like a very good batting unit. Obviously, Babar Azam and all these people are there, but they are not some team which can score above 160 consistently. They cannot go beyond 160 is their limit. Like 160, they can chase, they can reach it comfortably. But once it goes to 170, 180, 190, 200 is out of reach most of the time for them. Yeah, there can happen some matches, someone can fire, and that's the format, that's the nature of the game. But I just feel that, and especially in this tournament, Pakistan bowling has never been tested in all the matches. Apart from the India match, and we saw that, right? Lala Rao was bowling so well, but eventually went for those two sixes, and the game changed, right? And then in the last over, they were so nervous. They bowled a no ball, and all that shit happened. So they after that they have never been tested in this tournament. So if England comes out firing, it'll be very
And
interesting
they
to see
will.
that they
Rest
will. Yeah, I
assured.
mean, there is no question, right? There's no question.
There's no question. They're gonna come guns blazing, man.
So I would be I would really I mean, I again, as I said, that I would pick England if I have to pick between both teams. And yeah, obviously anything can happen. It's T20, but yeah, so I will also
Yeah, I
pick
think I
England.
think apart from the obvious thing that we are saying that anything has happened, I think what we're trying to say is that I think Pakistan has a as they say in sport has a puncher's chance, right? So
Hmm.
you might be playing Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson when he used to fight people, everybody's, and then one day he just lost. Somebody just fucking knocked him
Right,
out.
right, right.
That's just the way it works. So I think they have a puncher's chance. They need to have the right mindset. I think what happened to India will work in favor of Pakistan because now if India's cautious approach and these guys had just won in the 20th over or something, they could taken the easy route, this would have been worse because then England could have like screwed with them and said now we will fucking kill you. But England already showed them what they will do to you if you're cautious. So if one thing Pakistan will not
Hmm.
be, it's not going to be cautious. That doesn't
Right.
mean they're going to come out with courage. The deal with courage is that you might get out and then you get folded for the 123 also. But the thing about courage is that you might fail sometime with courage, but with caution. In T20, you will always fail in a T20 if you're facing a team which has courage. Right. If two teams don't have courage, then you just have a very interesting match. It's like when Pakistan was playing Bangladesh, right? But Bangladesh had no courage that day, so it was just horrible. But that's why I like Afghanistan, who actually have a lot more courage. And then they start losing their nerves. It becomes very interesting. But I don't think England will lose their nerves. But I can see a scenario that Pakistan can win this thing. I'm just going to say
Definitely.
25% Pakistan, 75% England right now, purely because England is going to come out and England's going to come out guns firing. Let's hope this is a good match, not the two matches that we had in the semi-final. Let's hope this is the India-Pakistan match that we had at the start of the tournament, the fifth match. And I think a lot of matches haven't been very good and everything getting washed out. It's going to be interesting because of the rain and everything. It might get run over the 2 days. And we are prepared. This is going to be a 2 day. More, some of the test matches have finished in less than 2 days. So I think this is going to be interesting T20 one day. Yeah, right? Like, particularly when Akshar Patel is bowling in Ahmedabad. He's like, the ball is turning fucking from wherever. No matter what he does, he's like, oh, there's a lot of memes going around in the, I think it's some Pakistani only because there's guys there when Alex Hales and Josh Butler playing against India. So this guy's saying he has this plastic bat and somebody's bowling, he's like, so in between, he starts drinking tea. Then he just like sits down. Then he just lies down only. He's like, and it's just hilarious. It just made me laugh the fuck out of it. It was just crazy. And he's wearing a salwar suit as well, like this is proper
Uh, oh
Islamic
yeah,
wear.
that's
But
yeah, that's I know
yeah,
what
you
you
see
what
it.
you're talking
Yeah,
about.
you see
Yeah.
it. Right? It's going around. It's just hilarious stuff. So on that note, we are both backing England, but we are not completely dismissing Pakistan because trust me, nobody wants to dismiss Pakistan. I'll dismiss India because I know what India's traits are, but Pakistan is very unpredictable. But both of us are going for England. So let's hope for a cracking game. If Pakistan wins, they deserve it. If England, well, that's what it is. I have no country. This guy at least have a country. He's ex-Twitter engineer. He's just bought a Lamborghini because of all the severance package that he paid. And Twitter boss Elon Musk has already announced that we might actually go into liquidation. I was like, what the fuck? You just paid 44 billion. This is crazy stuff. Why are you telling your staff that we might go into liquidation? We'll have to dissolve this company. That's some guy. He's maverick. He is super maverick, man. And they say like he's gone mental. So he said, no, I was already always mental. He tweeted on that. All right, let's not forget everything about Twitter. All right, good luck on Sunday. Hope everybody watches this game, and India will come back in the next ICC tournament, and we will perform exactly the same time. This is me, Gav. This is
Bye.
Big. Have a good night. Like and subscribe. Bye bye.
Be ready for the next bilateral series coming.
Bilateral series where India will win. India against New Zealand. Nobody's watching. Nobody's watching. Sheeps will be watching. Nothing. They're putting sheeps in the stadium because they have so many sheeps just to fill the
Yeah.
seats. He's like, ooh, sheeps with the mask of Boris Johnson and Donald Trump. So people, yeah, sheeps defending. All right.
Okay.
Good night. We'll see you next
Bye.
time. Like and subscribe. Bye bye.